Right, so about 2 years ago, I decided to test how successful the Murder Drones characters would be if they were put into the Summer Olympic Games of 2024. The ability to jump into orbit and break the sound barrier helped our mechanical cast win a pretty good number of medals in those games, and a lot of people seemed to like that video. So now that Italy 2026 is upon us, we have 15 new winter sports to throw in at with reckless abandon and see if we can add more silverware to their already impressive cabinets. Let's get into it. Going by alphabetical order, we have Alpine skiing. To reduce air resistance, the small height and low center of gravity of Uzi will be good here, allowing for tight turns. I'm going to outlaw the use of solver abilities here because that makes this unfair, but even so, Uzi will have a decent advantage over the rest of the competition for being so condensed. Metal is heavier than flesh, of course. That being said, this is mostly a skill-based discipline, and Uzi is never shown to know what skis are, yet alone how to use them, so we might not get the gold here. Next up is the Biathlon, made up of two of the strangest sports to be combined: shooting and cross-country skiing, taking turns with each. Regardless, I think that our man who loves doing anything is perfect for this ridiculous idea. We know he's fast, but episode 4 also shows us just how accurate he can be. As long as he doesn't drive himself directly into a tree and force reboot, we should have an easy gold. The whole gang is going to be feeling the rhythm and the rhyme in the bobsleigh, as we're going to pull all 3 murder drones and whichever worker happens to have drank the most oil that day to maximize the pushing force and create as much speed as possible. N will be our pilot, because despite his lackluster record of keeping ships alive, he does have good reaction time and instincts. J will also be our brakeman, as she is the least likely to panic and slam the brakes early. Our biggest advantage though is the ability to heave this sleigh at the start as fast as possible until the carbon fiber starts to break down, which should almost certainly give us the win if we don't go soaring off the edge like you think you will in those rickety old water slides. Easy gold here. I'm not even sure we can count this one as a sport, but here is cross-country skiing. You know, the boring part that people don't want to do when they go skiing? Thankfully, our drones are easily able to break the sound barrier, even with these goofy pieces of plastic strapped to their legs, so no doubt there's a gold medal here. N should probably do this though, as trying to manufacture skis that won't instantly fall off V and J's legs would be a nightmare. So apparently the iron my sister has plugged in on the bathroom counter isn't involved in this sport, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Regardless, it looks like we're going to have to aim for the big red dot in the middle of the ice, so having literal aimbot is going to make it very easy for a gold medal. V should do this one, as she has some of the best targeting that we've seen in the show. I've never really been one for dancing, especially not when I can't keep my footing without sliding all over the place, and unfortunately I think that will also be the case for our murder drones. We see Uzi and N dance once, but their style is very snappy and requires a good grip on the floor, which we don't get here. I'm not trusting V to dance at all, and I think J would object to trying this, so no medal for us here, even with some nice spins. Speaking of spins, we have freestyle skiing, where you fly off a ramp and do as much cool shit in the air as you can before you land. Given that our drones would have much longer to do tricks, as they can go faster, have lots of experience moving in midair, and can stick a solid landing, I reckon we take the gold here. J would be good for this, as even in very strenuous conditions, we can see her always land on her feet. Ice hockey is up next, and while the drones would definitely have some advantages here, I'm not sure we can take home any medals. Yes, there are enough competent drones to make a team, and the aforementioned aimbot and super speed would be very helpful here, but we're unlikely to even make it through the first match. This is because someone is almost certainly going to be killed by the drones during the course of the game. J and N would probably be okay, but there is no way that V and Uzi are getting out on that ice and not cutting someone's head off, which according to the Olympics committee unfortunately gets us disqualified. I'm not sure why, that's just good defense. The next event consists entirely of strapping yourself to a board going at 150 kilometers an hour and praying to God you don't die. The main reason this sport is difficult is because nobody in their right mind would actually be willing to do it. That being said, Uzi has never and will never be in her right mind, so while I doubt she'll win, we'll at least get a good show. Next up on the alphabetical list is Nordic combined, but to explain that I need to explain ski jumping first. This one is very similar to freestyle from before, but this time you are locked into a set path and need to angle yourself to fly as far as possible. This is also the penis gate one. Thankfully, the murder drones have the ability to levitate in midair without even the use of their wings, so we break the world record here and snag an easy gold. Nordic combined, as the name suggests, is a combination of 2 sports, that being ski jump and cross-country skiing. They really like combining cross-country skiing with other things, maybe because it's not very eventful. We've already seen that the murder drones can win both of these events, so winning them together won't be much harder. Although I will protest at the fact that these guys are so unoriginal they couldn't think of a new sport to play, so they just keep smashing them together. Short track skating is just about the only event on this roster that I'm intimately familiar with, partially due to the legend of Stephen Bradbury and partially due to that clip of the Chinese girl faking everyone else out that has been circulated on Instagram 15,000 times. It's still the same story as the others though, the murder drones are just way too fast for you. Skeleton is what happens when people think that Luge is too safe, so they decide to do it headfirst instead. For some odd reason though, clips of this particular sport tend to get a lot of traction on the internet. I'm really not sure why this supersedes the more tactical sports like ice hockey, or even the more visually impressive ones like freestyle, but I guess there's just something about this that's really intriguing to people. And we'll put V in here and see how it goes. Up next is the newest sport to be added to the Winter Olympics, and I can see why, because it's absolutely miserable. You know, in every ski park in existence, how they have these conveyors or lifts to take you up the mountain so you don't need to struggle all the way up there by yourself? Well, they took the struggling and turned it into a sport. Fuck it, Caddiz McGee can do this one. I don't care if she wins, but she deserves the suffering. And our final sport is snowboarding, which once again is very similar to freestyle skiing. I'm not sure what kind of white powder the organisers of these games were surrounded by when they made all these sports different things, but we can once again chuck Uzi into this and watch her spin her way to victory and a gold medal. And that's it. Team Copper 9 will once again come away with a fistful of medals in this inarguably worse version of the Olympics that I will be watching very little of. But that's all I've got for today. If you want to see me put the Murder Drones cast anywhere else, let me know down in the comment section, and have a good one.